Hey guys, welcome to Comics with Bueller. As always, I'm Bueller. So I get asked quite a bit, what are my top 10 favorite books or most valuable books in my collection? So I thought I'd make a video showing my top 10 books. Now, a lot of these are very valuable, but a lot of them have a special meaning behind them, and I'll talk about those here in a minute. So let's not waste any time. Let's go ahead and look at my first book. As far as how important it is to me, I'll tell you right now. I have Amazing Spider-Man number 129, which you guys all know is the first appearance of the Punisher, so it is a pretty valuable book. Significance about this is the Punisher is probably my favorite character right now at the moment, and also this was a gift from a family member, my nephew Jeff. He got it for me and gave it to me kind of a surprise. It was pretty amazing to say the least. And then another special thing about this book is it is autographed by Jerry Conway, the creator of The Punisher. I actually got a chance to sit down with him and do an interview and talk to him for a little bit. So this is a very special book, if not probably my most special one, because of all those things, being a gift, being my favorite character of all time, and autographed by the creator. So it kind of hits every single base. Next one I have is another Amazing Spider-Man book. This is number 42. This one I got probably about, I'd say about a year and a half ago. And the significance about this one is it's the first appearance of Mary Jane. And honestly, she's one of my favorite characters. She's the girlfriend or wife, I don't know what's going on now, of Peter Parker's Spider-Man. And in this book, she says the famous line, "Face it, Tiger, you hit the jackpot." And this is when they first meet. So this book has always been special to me. The cover doesn't do it justice because obviously it's not referring to Mary Jane. She's on the very last page of this book, but it's kind of one that gets missed. So if you get a chance to find this book and pick it up, it's a major character that made her first appearance. Next one we have is, this one is just, it's the cover got me. And it's my favorite Jack Kirby cover that I have in my collection. And it is Iron Man number 80. It's just pure Jack Kirby goodness. And you know what? There's really nothing like a Jack Kirby comic, to be totally honest. A great looking cover. I love this book. It's not tremendously valuable, but if you're looking at it right now like I am, you see exactly what the appeal is. And you know what? I don't have a lot of Jack Kirby covers in my collection. Somebody at one time said I probably didn't have any, but obviously I do. This is one of my most special books. Next one I have is The Incredible Hulk number 102. Another beautiful book. This started after the 101 from, I think it was Tales to Astonish or something like that. It was one of those with Hulk and Submariner, I believe, or somebody. And they started up the Incredible Hulk again on 102. So this is considered probably like the first issue besides the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, I believe. This was also a gift from a community member as well. And I have a lot of great Hulk books, and I owe a lot to the people out there that watch the videos that decide to send me these books. But this is a beautiful book, and it's definitely one of my favorites. Next one I have is Iron Man and Submariner number 1. Speaking of Submariner, there you go. This was like a prelude to the new series for both Submariner and Iron Man. They made this little one-shot. I don't know if this was the first one-shot, but they made this book all by itself, number 1, featuring Iron Man and Submariner. I love it. I think the cover is great. I picked this up at a Emerald City Comic Con back in a couple years ago, I think. And actually, when I think about it, I think it was also a gift from the guy that took me to Emerald City Comic Con. And he knew I wanted this book, and he saw it. And now that I think about it, I think I did buy it. So it was actually, he bought it there, and he didn't notice that there was like some tracing over the Iron Man guy. You can kind of see the indentation. So he was like, I probably won't get my money back for it. So he just kind of gave it to me for the price he bought it for, which was really cheap. And I couldn't turn it down because I always wanted it. And I was more than happy to add it to my collection. And it's one of my favorites. Okay, let's set these down so they don't fall. Next one we got here is XMen number 94. Always wanted this book. And it's the first new team appearance of the new X-Men team in the X-Men title itself. They obviously made their first appearance in Giant Size X-Men number 1, and then they came to the original series on issue 94. The last few issues, like 20 or 30, were all reprints. So this started a brand new storyline with a brand new team, and it was a book I've always wanted. And this was also another gift from someone in the community. Actually, Steven Spock sent it to me. Spock is his dog. It might have been the dog. He said the dog used to chew on this. It's very well loved, but you know what? I don't mind one bit. I think it's perfect. So thank you very much, Steve, and also the dog, Spock. Moving on, we have Captain America number 117, which is the first appearance of Falcon. And this is actually a book that I bought. I helped out a comic shop, and I kind of did some work for them or whatnot, and they gave me some store credit to buy some books, and that was one of the books I wanted. I think that was actually the first one I wanted. So I had it on hold, and then after everything was done, I went ahead and picked that up with a bunch of other ones, and I always wanted the first appearance of Falcon in my collection. And there you go. It's a nice looking copy, you know, it's in high grade, and it's a really special book because it's a great character. And I remember picking up the 4-part miniseries back in the 80s, and that's really what introduced me to the Falcon, and I've been a fan ever since. Next book up is back to another Amazing Spider-Man. This is number 41, which is the first appearance of one of my favorite villains, Rhino. And this was actually another book that was in that batch that I got from the store credit from helping out the comic shop. And I was really happy to get that. I really got some really good first appearances and some Spider-Mans. I had like $300 store credit, so I took advantage of it. But definitely wanted this one. It does have a little bit of water damage on the side, but to me it's absolutely perfect. Great villain, and love having the first appearance. Next one we have is, you guys have heard me talk about this quite a bit. This is Marvel Superheroes Contest of Champions number 1. This was my very first comic I ever bought at a comic shop when I was a little kid. I was probably 8-9 years old, and my mom took me to my first comic shop. I believe it was Pegasus Books. I might have that wrong, but it was way back in the day, and I remember seeing the ad in other comic books for this book, and I was like, man, what are they looking at? I was all curious what they were staring at and stuff, and why they're all together. And then I finally saw the book when I went to a comic shop, and I had to get it. I think it was like $5. My mom bought it for me, and it has stayed in my collection ever since. It's a 3-issue limited series, and it was the first limited series that Marvel ever did. And of course, we know Secret Wars was years later, but this was kind of the start for all the limited series, so it's kind of cool. Very last book in my collection, and as far as my top 10 favorite books, has got to be my Hulk 181. And it's a book, for one, I thought I would never have. And I've always wanted it. Obviously, it's the first appearance of Wolverine. And someone in the community actually gifted this to me. His name is Steve Whiting. You guys have probably seen him in the chat. And he's actually gifted me quite a few books. But this, by far, is my favorite book that I've ever received. And you know what? It's definitely on the top of my top 10 list to have. I'm pretty lucky because two of my favorite characters of all time, both the Punisher and Wolverine, I have both their first appearances. So my collection's almost done. But anyway, these are my 10 favorite books. And like I said, some are really valuable and some are just very special. To me, there was really no difference between monetary value and personal value. They hold the same weight, and I hope with your comics they do too. Anyway, I just wanted to share those with you. I'm going to do another top 10 list with my top 10 favorite Amazing Spider-Man books, and also my top 10 favorite X-Men books. I think that'd be kind of fun to see. I got a really nice collection of both. So hopefully you liked this video and you kind of learned a little bit more about me as well. And I'm looking forward to doing more and highlighting some really special books in my collection. All right, everybody, thank you so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You know what to do. I'll see you next time. Bye.